With the fucking power went out, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was pretty funny though. That was pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Wait, what happened?
I'd love for you to tell this story. You don't have to drop any names, but I think this is one of my favorite stories.
Okay, basically the power went out and nobody else was home.
Okay.
But like Zach and me and some other guy, and we were talking there in the living room. We put some candles up everywhere, and we were talking about like ghost stories. Like we were talking about like things like just kind of the hidden fears in the back of people's minds.
Yeah.
And I brought up like
one person inquired like, what's the scariest thing that you know? Like what terrifies you the most?
And I brought up a fictional story about a certain stick man I've seen all throughout my youth and kept having reoccurring dreams of him. And I've seen him. I could have sworn I've seen him in real life as well. And it all blends together with childhood memories and like just the ghost of my past.
Yeah.
He's bullshitting this with the straightest face you've ever seen. Like
Zach wasn't even sure if I was telling the truth.
I was pretty 50-50. I was like 51-49. I was like I'm pretty sure he's fucking with me, but I can't tell because he somehow bubbled up this genuine like fear in his eyes and put it right there, and I was like, man.
And by candlelight too.
Yeah.
The other person got like really petrified and like asked me to like draw it and then
did you just draw a stick?
Yeah. I literally just drew a fucking stick figure, and the person almost started crying.
Yeah,
I'm not making this up.
Welling up. Yeah, no actual like uneasy breathing and shit. It was like,
they almost started crying. It's like, oh my god, guys, oh my god. And I was like looking at Zach. It's like, is this real life? Like, is this a fucking hallucination from my past right now?
It's just this like,
it was a fucking stick figure.
It was a fucking stick man. Like it was.
Speaking of pranking people, Shad, you are a master prankster. Some people wouldn't necessarily think that, but I think it's because of this honesty that you're talking about, that he can bubble up, like he can just bring it right to the surface. He can hone it in, and you never know if he's telling the truth.
I'd like to say this about Chad. I don't know. I definitely don't want to like overwhelm you with like compliments or anything. But everything I'm saying is genuine, right? I feel like the best thing about you is you smell bullshit very quickly, and you're like a hound. You tear it apart like a dog that hasn't eaten for days.
It's more fun to confront it.
Exactly, but sometimes you'll just fuck with people. You'll let him fuck them, just kind of poke them, just to see
the reaction.
There's that old quote. I can't remember who it's by, but it's kind of like, if you stick a sword in somebody and it's soft, you stick all the way through it. If it's hard, you pull back. It's kind of, I feel like that's what you do a little bit. Like, for example, when Niall first moved into the house, do you remember what you said to him that traumatized him?
Oh, when I said
you casually walked in.
You can't be an animator because you look too fit.
No, it wasn't that. Shad walked into Niall on the couch and he's like, I don't think you'll make it to the winter. And he walked out. That fucking traumatized Niall.
Yeah.
He was like destroyed by that.
You carry like loaded bullets even when you're having like light conversations.
No, but Niall has proved himself to be very.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you kind of then you gauge when people react, and then you kind of like get some kind of footing.
I don't think you'll make it through the winter.
Do you know what this is like?
It was like September too.
Do you know what this is like? Because think of it this way: Niall was probably a really big fan of you because he was like a big fan of your art, and then you come in, you're like a wise old man in like a cave, and then this guy who's been trying to meet you for years, he sits down, he's like really excited, and you see him, you're like, you will die. And then you leave. And that's it. Like he's just like. I just love how you made him like a fly. Like you'll drop up in the winter like the rest of them, like an insect. And then you go in the other room and you just sit there laughing because then he actually thinks you're serious.
But isn't it more like interesting to actually kind of get genuine emotions out of people to get past like their fakeness?
Yeah, no, just cut right to it. Just cut to the bone.
Because then you can like kind of see what they're really about.
What they're made out of.
Yeah,
the fakeness. That's true. Yeah.
A lot of people like they're not going to be honest with you.
They'll build up a wall to try and create their like they'll have this facade, and then it's just because they want to look better than what they really are.
But then I think that makes you look more pathetic though, because once you it's like a house of cards, you tap it with your finger and it explodes down.
You know what? Once you know someone has a facade, it's almost as ridiculous as somebody holding like a cardboard cutout of themselves in front of them.
Yeah,
like they're like walking around like this is me, this is me, and it's like
you're trying to look around.
That's not reserved to like single people. That's like everybody is like a performer. And then whatever they are second. Like a doctor is a performer first and a doctor second because he looks exactly like a doctor should be. He talks like a doctor should be. He's a doctor. Like, he wants to show society, I'm a doctor.
So he purposely behaves a certain way.
Realistically, you wouldn't want a doctor to walk in, like, drunk off his ass, like, smashing beer bottles, being like, let's do this operation.
I just mean, like, I think he means, like, if a doctor's like, yo, you check out the new Family Guy last night,
he
you're not a
would
doctor.
say that.
That's what I'm saying.
he would not
That's
say
not,
that.
he'd walk and be like, so anyways, the AIDS is killing you?
You also wouldn't want, like, it's always portrayed in, like, cartoons like this, but you also wouldn't want a doctor coming in cracking jokes at something horrible.
Yeah.
Like, if he was like, hey, you got a brain tumor, but guess what? You know...
Your brain's gonna be twice as big now.
Yeah. So it's like you probably win an Academy Award being the smartest guy ever. It's like, I have a fucking brain tumor, dude. It's like, I don't care about your comedy fucking routine.
But like, let's say take Chris for example. Like, you'd expect him to like behave a certain way. Like, for example, a guy would have to behave that he has like 1 million subscribers or something. He would be kind of stuck up about it, or kind of posh about it, or just have like a certain. He'd be like one of those YouTubers.
He would carry.
That's what you would expect him to be like, because he would have to put on that act to meet that standard. But he's
like
not.
what?
You'd have a strap with your like million like gold thing on your back. You'd be carrying it everywhere you go. Just for the
You
occasion.
should just have a tattoo that says like 1 mil, like 1 mil with the white T logo.
I don't want to be name calling, but there are people who are like
there
that.
are genuinely people.
I've seen so many videos where it's like, yeah, got my 1 million subscriber plaque. I'm
Or
gonna
they
hang, I'm gonna hang it in the wall behind me
they
now.
settle it. Like, hey, YouTube, it's like right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, okay.
Even like people I considered my friends at some point. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They have this certain attitude about them, like because they reach certain things, and it's sickening. Like,
Yeah,
it really is.
It's like you look at them, and instead of seeing something enlightening about their life, they're just like, yeah, I did it, and it's like their avatar is that icon. You're just like, oh, okay.
It goes
I'm
to
glad
show
that's the most important
It's such
part.
an easy way to spot like a vain piece of shit
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Just when they do that stuff.